okay, it's not racism. I guarantee it's not racism. I don't believe I'm with her. Like there are some racist people out there, but I don't. This isn't racist. I think people don't like her because she's an educated bitch. I'm gonna say it.
Do you think she's educated? Because I've always found
Didn't
her.
she? Didn't
I've
she go
always
Berkeley?
found her.
Didn't she graduate from Berkeley?
I don't really know. I've just seen a few videos with her where she gets backed into a corner and people prove her wrong. And, you know, instead of admitting she's wrong, she just goes, "Oh, I just believe it anyway. This is just what I think. I just believe it. I don't have to have a reason. I just believe it anyway."
Yet again, she's another entertainer, right? She's just an entertainer. She
Well,
entertains the right.
I mean, to me, that doesn't, you don't get a pass with that. You don't get a free pass for just saying, "I'm an entertainer." I mean, you're going to say something, you should be able to back it up. You should have a mind and you should be able to back up what you fucking say, right?
I'm with you. But like, she's an entertainer to me. Whatever she says, I kind of go, good for you. Okay, cool. You're a sharp-tongued woman who's somewhat attractive, who's got some type of a educational background. Sometimes you're not right. Sometimes you're wrong. But to me, you're just entertainment. When I watch something on Facebook or you get one of those war polls and she magically pops up, you entertained me for 5 minutes. You're an entertainer. You didn't educate me on anything. You entertained me. That makes you an entertainer.
But just because you're an entertainer, you still have to be held accountable for the things that you say.
It's true. I agree.
Okay. So this is a person who has refused to get the vaccine, who has refused to wear a mask, and has coerced people, coerced her viewers, not coerced, but convinced her viewers, don't get the vaccine, don't mask up. So these people who are working to fight COVID are saying it would be against our core principles to help you out after you have done so much to hurt us. These are people, I'm going to give you an exact quote. This is from Susan Lee, the owner of this COVID testing place. She says, "We cannot support anyone who has proactively worked to make this pandemic worse by spreading misinformation, politicizing, and discouraging the wearing of masks, and actively dissuading people from receiving life-saving vaccinations. My team and myself have worked overtime to exhaustion, unpaid, underpaid this year, spending our own capital to ensure that this community remains protected. It would be unfair to them, to the sacrifices we have all made this year to serve you."
Okay. I have questions that I didn't even know I had questions about.
Sure.
Okay. You said the owner of the COVID testing site.
Yes.
What the fuck is that?
This is a private. This is a private.
How come it's not government ran?
There are government run COVID testing centers. This is a privately run one.
In America.
Yes.
So you're making money. You're making money off tests.
I don't know how that. I don't know that. That's a good question. But it is a privately. I don't know if it's. I don't know how that works.
Okay, let's just assume it is, because she said she's spending her capital on it.
Yes.
Right. So I'm going broke here. I'm trying to fight. And I'm getting paid overtime and all this stuff. Okay. If she's a customer, then it's not like. So to me, it was like, okay, so if you walk into a hospital and you don't like the nurse or the doctor or whatever have you, you're in a hospital. They have to fix you, right?
Sure.
Like, I don't fucking like that guy, but you know what? I got to fix him. That's my job. If you're,
we're gonna get hard into the right and left stuff right in a second. Keep going, drummer.
We're going.
I already know where we're going.
Where we're going. Okay. So now to me, okay. If you can't see, he's waving his hand like I gotta hurry up and go to commercial break here. But anyways, like I was saying, you got it. You don't have to. If you're a private business, that's your own business. If you want to refuse somebody's service, that's your own right because you're a business owner.
Okay.
Now, if it was a government ran, like if I went to get a COVID test, and in Canada, it's government ran, and they said, "No, I don't like you," I'd be like, "No, kiss my ass. You got to do it because you're government funded." Now, my other point though is I would want to, with Candace Owens, I'm always looking at the way to flip something to make it better. I would take her in. I would show her. I'd say, you know what? Come on in. I would give her the swab. I'd say, listen, you just got to put a mask on. That's our mandate. Help us out. Candace would probably be like, okay, let's do it. I would show her the back end of it. Do you know what I mean? I'd give her the education and go, this is what we're fucking dealing with. You got to help me out here. And then if she were to come out and go, oh, they refused me service, I'd be like, you're a fucking moron.
Well, I want to say right now that I'm very proud, John Mark, because I thought this conversation was going to go in a completely different direction, because a lot of right-wingers were saying she's a customer, you have to serve her, customer.
No,
However,
private
there's plenty of right-wing stories of the private business has the right to serve and not serve whoever they want. And Jean-Marc, you are consistent. That is exactly the stance. This is a private business. They have the right to serve and not serve whoever they want.
Well, to a point, because if you were to start segregating whites and blacks, that's a whole different thing.
Of course, there are protected situations.
Yep. But if you don't want to,
including gay people when they want a certain cake, but we're not going to get into that story today. I don't want to sidetrack us, but I am going to say, Jean-Marc, you hit the nail on the head, because at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with being nice, and they did have an opportunity to be nice to Candace Owens, even though they didn't have to.
You had an opportunity.
They were well within their right to say, go fuck yourself. You've made my job worse. And I am proud of this Susan Lee for sticking up for her workers, who were probably a little bit disgusted that they would have to help someone who has worked against them so much. But you do have an opportunity to be nice, and you can't go wrong with that. Nobody's going to criticize you for that. I'm of two minds. I would have helped her out. I'm going to be honest. And it's fun to come on here and say, fuck you, you did wrong and you got what you deserve. But to be honest, I would have helped her out, and I would have helped stop the spread of COVID. How do you feel about that?
I would have too. And because I'm a private business, you probably would have had some type of a health card that I probably would have billed $300 for this shot or whatever have you. I would have took that. I would have put it through, and I would have been like, hey, let me say that this guy is your husband because he doesn't have money, and I can get him a COVID shot or COVID test as well. Do you know what I mean? But the education is so key. You could have been like, hey, you know what? I don't like you. You're spreading misinformation. Here's what we're going through. And her be like, oh, can you help us out? Can you live video and just say, hey, listen, this is a fight? Because you never know what's going to change their mind. You never know. You be completely nice to somebody and then just say, hey, listen, this is where you kind of fucked me. Like, this is what you're doing to us. And they go, oh my, I didn't even think of it. Because it's such a different zone.
I mean, I'm of two minds, because liberals get tagged with this limp-wristed liberal. They don't have any backbone. They bend to the will of other people. And it's kind of nice to see that you got fucking some backbone, and you stood up for yourselves, and you did what you fucking had some backbone here.
No, you didn't have to. Don't even just take the left and right out of it. Let's just say you don't like Candace Owens. Let's just say that.
Sure.
And then
it's not even you don't like Candace Owens, but this is someone who has worked against the cause that you're fighting for, who is now in a situation where they need you to help them get out of this situation because of this cause that you're fighting for.
Correct. So what I'm looking at is saying to myself, like, yeah, no, you can basically go fuck yourself. But there's room for opportunity. I would have took her in and tried to change her mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm different. Maybe because I'm a business owner, I'm going, hey, you know what else I could do here? If Candace Owens says, if you need to get tested and they're going to test anybody, I'm probably going to get a big boost of business from it. So I would have took everything to go, hey, cool, we'll do that. But I want you to live tweet the video or live stream on Instagram saying, hey, I'm getting tested for COVID. You know, the people at this area and the owner are great. They're very nice people. They're showing me the back end. And even if she were to say they've got a lot of issues, like, you're fucking us over here. Just put a mask on. Just get the vaccine. That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? Like, you could have just asked her.
Okay, it's an interesting point, but I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate here. Is one, do you really need somebody to stick up for your company and say they're a good place when it's COVID testing? You know, like, you don't really need people to be like, go to this COVID testing place. People are going to go to the COVID testing place because they think they have COVID. They don't really need a whole lot of advertisement for that. And two, the advertisement that they would need, and it's not really advertisement, but the urging that you could give people is to go get fucking tested, or to get the vaccine, or to get the mask. And we know that Candace Owens has had a reputation of not doing that. So I'm just saying, I understand where they're coming from.
I'm with you, man. I just think, to me, you're a business owner. You're going to have the right to refuse anybody's business. Just be careful you don't take your own business. That's what I'm afraid of, right?
You don't take your own business? What do you mean?
Like, don't go out. Like, I don't know. Now, does anybody, maybe somebody has a Trump sticker on their car? Do they get pushed away? Do you know what I mean, though? Like, if you're going, like, oh, it must be an anti-vaxxer. Listen, I'm a Trump supporter and I'm vaccinated. It doesn't matter to me.
I don't think, I mean, we're speculating here, but I would guess that if you're a Trump supporter, you're, I'm sure, welcome. It's just if you're out spreading misinformation and you're famously, like, you're one of the top, like 3% of people who are spreading misinformation online, you're not welcome to come for our help afterwards, right?
True enough, man. True enough. True words have never been said, my friend. But remember, folks, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
There's no, well, that is another thing, is this could end up helping them in the long run, because now they've got this story. Candace Owens is out saying, like, I done fucked up. I needed to get a COVID test. And all the people that she said not to fucking take this thing seriously are going, wait a second, now all of a sudden you're taking it seriously?